if I have a right triangle, sometimes we want to look at something we call the trigonometric ratios or the trig ratios. Now, if you're looking at trig ratios, you have to be able to look at the triangle and figure out things like opposite, adjacent, and hypotenuse. Well, the hypotenuse is not going to change. It is the side across from the 90-degree angle. So that's not going to be any different than anything else. On this triangle I have pictured here, I'm going to go ahead and label the vertices. The vertices would be the places where the lines meet. So I'm going to label it A at the top, B at 37 degrees, and C is the hypotenuse. Now, your labeling, it's not important. If I swapped A and B, that would be all right. But however you labeled it, you want to look at it and be consistent. Know what you're looking at when you label it. Now, I'm looking at my picture, and I called leg, leg. But let's do this. One of these is leg number 1. Doesn't matter which one, but I will call this one at the bottom leg number 1. And this one that's between A and C, leg number 2. So it can get kind of confusing, adjacent and opposite. The reason it's confusing is because it could change. Adjacent and opposite is in reference to what angle you're looking at. So if I'm looking at angle A, I'm going to write out angle A. I noticed on some of the other videos, you might write it like this, angle A, same thing. But if I'm looking at angle A, the adjacent side is the leg that has one of the sides that make angle A. So I'm going to write adjacent side is leg number 2 to angle A. The opposite side is going to be leg number 1. I'm going to talk a little bit about why that's the opposite side. If you start at A and you go through the triangle, the opposite side is the side that you always have to go through the triangle to get to. When you start at the angle they're asking you about. So because of this, if I'm talking about angle A, the adjacent side is going to be leg number 2, and the opposite side is leg number 1. If I start at angle B, that changes. I'm going to squeeze it in this little spot right here. So if I'm doing angle B, and I can write it with the symbols, angle B. If I'm starting at angle B, then to go through the triangle, which would be the opposite, I get to leg number 2. So on angle B, the opposite side I totally misspelled opposite, didn't I? I put opposite. I'm trying to combine side and opposite. The opposite side to B is leg number 2. And then the adjacent side to B is leg number 1. So if I'm talking about trig ratios, where I need to know opposite, adjacent, hypotenuse. The opposite and the adjacent are going to change according to what angle you're looking at.